home runs, walking 39, striking out 55. He's held the opposition to a .207 batting average, which is outstanding. And last year with the Giants in a short time won 2 and lost 3.
7-7 in Phoenix. Anyways, here's his defense. 7-7 in Phoenix last season before being recalled to the Giants. Defense for the Giants: Laga, Thompson, Uribe, and Williams in the infield. Left to right in the outfield: Mitchell, Butler, and Kingerly. And behind the plate, Kennedy. We mentioned Will Clark with food poisoning. He's home again today. Missed last night's ball game. Tough break for the Giants. Anytime you come into town, you feel that the Giants will not have Will Clark in the lineup. You're kind of keyed up. But last night, the Giants nipping the Mets here at the Stick 3-2. Matt Williams with a big 3-run home run, and he had been struggling, Ralph.
He had been struggling, as a matter of fact, on the road trip where they lost 8 of the 10 games that they played. Matt Williams hit .175 with 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. He's had 2 hits in his last 11 ball games that have been big hits. 3-run home runs, 1 against the Cincinnati Reds.
He reminds me a lot of Harmon Killebrew.
Very similar.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because, well, maybe we'll get a shot of him hitting today. Talked about different theories on swinging a bat. Somebody once said there's no such thing as a back foot hitter. Well, Harmon Killebrew was as close as you could get, and so is Matt Williams as a back foot hitter. Anyways, we're all set to go. Mark Carreon steps in, and here's Mr. Kiner.
And Mark Carreon hitting .250 for the year. He has 10 home runs, 26 runs batted in. He's had 1 hit in his lifetime against the Giants, and that was a home run. As a leadoff batter, he's hitting .319 with a total of 3 home runs, and the first pitch is lined right at Williams at third. A quick out.
Oh, by the way, if we forgot, Matt Williams is a brilliant defensive third baseman. He's been compared by some of the baseball people here in San Francisco to Mike Schmidt, who was also an excellent third baseman. Here's that ball hammered off the bat of Mark Carreon to the hot corner. That's why it's the hot corner.
Can't get much hotter than that, especially in San Francisco where everything is cold. And now Dave Magadan, the batter. Magadan third in the National League in hitting with a .331 batting average. Dykstra leads at .346. McGee at .337. Magadan 0 for 1 in last night's ball game, has an on-base average of .418. And that is second in the National League. And he fouls off the fastball. The count now 1-1. Dave Magadan with 4 home runs, 41 RBIs. In last night's ball game, he walked twice and sacrificed once. His 1 at bat, he flied out to left field. And Williams with a fastball that's grounded to the shortstop, Uribe, and the throw to first for the out.
When you look at Uribe throw, hard to believe at one time he had one of the better throwing arms in the National League, because he just beats the runner to first base. Now he doesn't have that overpowering throwing arm. Hurt his arm. Think of a sore arm, you think of Kevin Elster, and Kevin will try it out tomorrow. He's going to rejoin the ball club. He was down south in Southern California.
And now the batter for the Mets, Greg Jefferies. Jefferies 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. Batting .305 for the year with 13 home runs, 59 RBIs, and the fastball for ball 1. Jefferies has hit the Giants well in his brief career, hitting .375 against the Giants. And this year he's hitting .440 against the Giants with 11 hits and 25 at bats.
Grew up a Giant fan out here on the West Coast.
Lives about 15 minutes from the ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jefferies takes inside. So it's 2-1.
Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 3-1.
Well, the Giant fans are happy about that. This ball hit foul off on the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Talking about the Mets here in San Francisco, boy, they've struggled against the Giants, and you almost have to think they have to get away from their game of trying to hit the home run, get a well-pitched game from their pitcher, and play a little baseball.
Rounded foul again, so the count stays at 2-2.
Advance the runner, move the runner over, give yourself up. There's the final score, 3-1. The Mets have to start winning some ball games, especially here in San Francisco.
Zane Smith pitched that game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was acquired from Montreal. Rounded out to short again. Uribe gloves it. And the Mets go in order in the first half of this ball game. First half of the first. The score at the end of 1/2 inning, the Mets nothing, the Giants guard against the possibility of the bunt. 0 for 5 last night. He is a fine leadoff batter. He has 70 walks. And he hits it down the line. It's a fair ball. It will be extra bases. So Butler leads off with a double.
What a leadoff man Brett Butler has turned out to be for the Giants. They decided to pick him up as a free agent. Right there, he swung the bat like a leadoff man. He had to get on base. He just slapped the ball in left field. He's your ideal leadoff man.
His on base percentage .383 before that base hit with 70 walks. And now the batter will be Mike Kingerly, hitting .255, no home runs, 14 runs batted in.
Kingerly signed with the Giants as a free agent in April 1990.
Played out his option and signed with the Giants. He has never batted against the Mets. In his last 28 games, he's hitting .210, playing right field today. That's in at first and third in anticipation of a sacrifice, but Kingerly swings away, chops it out to Magadan, who has no play at third. Butler going there, and he picks up the out at first base. So Kingerly pulls the ball and gets the runner over to third. So it's what you call a good out.
You look at his stats throughout his minor league career. Kingerly never really doing the big job. I should say Kingery.
The minor leagues. He was playing at Phoenix. And now time is called. So 1 ball, no strikes to Laga, and a good sharp breaking curveball, and it's 1-1. Laga at Phoenix batted .295 with 21 home runs, 70 runs batted in 79 games.
He did a good job for the Giants last year. He was sent out to the minor leagues this year.
2 strikes a count. And a check in the swing. Did he go around? He did not. Randy Marsh, the third base umpire. Harry Wendelstadt behind the plate. Joe West at first, and Ron Barnes, the umpire, at second.
What do you think, Ralph?
He kept his body. He kept the bat near his body. I'd say no swing.
Okay, but if he made contact?
Then he hits it out of the park. There's a swing and a miss. So Laga is struck out, and that could be a big strikeout for David Cone.
Laga was overmatched.
Home run, 67 RBIs. Sandberg leads the National League in home runs with 28. Strawberry with 27. Bonilla with 27. And Mitchell with 26. And the first pitch a called strike. Mitchell against David Cone has had 3 hits and 15 at bats in his major league career. One of those hits a home run.
He's a tough man to pitch to, because you can make him look bad on one pitch, throw the same pitch, he might hit you out.
Ooh, what a nasty curveball that was. That rolled off the table.
That's the second one to Mitchell.
2 strikes a count, and man, you just don't see a curveball wrap that tight.
Well, no question about it. Coney with good stuff today throws that hook. That's the second curveball to Mitchell. Now what do? You've thrown 2 curveballs. As I mentioned,
they go out of the strike zone with a high inside fastball and come back with a curveball out of the strike zone, low and away.
See what happens.
And here's the pitch, a sidearm curve, and goodbye. Boy, he just took him right out of there. Great job of pitching by David Cone as he strikes out 2 with a runner at third for the Mets. Kevin McReynolds to lead it off. Trevor Williams on the mound, and should say Trevor Wilson on the mound, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. McReynolds hitting .255, 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, and the pitch back a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good pitch to Kevin McReynolds from Wilson, because Kevin has been pulling off the ball. You won't pull off the ball as much from a left-hander unless he pitches you in there.
He stayed in there that time and was late with his swing and fouls it back. It's 1-2.
You can get a hitter into a bad habit by pitching inside, pitching inside. If you beat him inside, he'll tend to open up too soon. A lot of times you can run yourself into a slump by opening up too soon.
This pitch fouled back out of play. McReynolds in a terrible power slump. His average has stayed fairly steady, but in his last 28 games he's had 7 extra base hits, 1 home run since July 3rd. And this ball hit down the line but foul. The count stays at 1-2.
Against the left-hander, you have the tendency to stay in longer, go into the pitch because the ball's coming into you. It's a lot easier. You don't pull off the ball as much if you're a right-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher.
And the pitch back is high in the count, 2-2. McReynolds against the Giants, lifetime .220 with only 6 home runs. And this year he's had just 2 hits and 21 at bats against Giant pitching, hitting .095. And this ball hit hard and a base hit to left field. So a leadoff single for Kevin McReynolds.
I'll take a look at Kevin's swing, hitting the ball in the hole between third and short.
He still was pulling away from that
Yeah, and you see that back foot give? Kevin would almost be better off going up to the plate and saying, I'm going to try to get jammed, and then try to be as quick as he can and stay on the ball. Because obviously he's concerned about something. He's concerned either about being hit with the pitch, or he's concerned about the quickness, or I should say the slowness of his bat.
Now Darryl Strawberry the batter, and the curveball is out of the strike zone for a ball. Darryl 1 for 3 last night, batting .281 in the year with 27 home runs, 77 RBIs. Trevor Wilson going for the Giants, his first appearance against the Mets, and that pitch ball 2. Trevor, lifetime in the major leagues, 10-9. Last year with the Giants he was 2-3. At Phoenix this year he was 5-5. And he throws to first base. Two balls, no strikes to count to Strawberry. Strawberry much closer to the plate than he was last year against left-hand pitching, which is very good because you can reach that outside curveball. The closer you are to the plate, the more they'll throw you inside. And the pitch back is inside, and it's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
Good example right there. I'd let Strawberry swing the bat here. Left-handed hitter at Candlestick Park, 3-0. You got to come in with the heater.
Very good home run hitting ballpark for left-hand batters, or anybody that can hit the ball to right field. And he goes the other way as he gets jammed on the 3-0 fastball, and they count 3-1. It's hard to believe that you can get jammed on a 3-0 fastball,
especially a power hitter who wants to get his bat way out in front.
You got to be thinking incorrectly when you're at the plate if you get jammed with a fastball with a 3-0 count, especially when the new pitcher is pitching against you. Got to be looking fastball unless you're sure that it's going to be a curveball, and seldom do you look curveball in that spot. Again, a fastball, and it's grounded to second. They try for 2, and they get 2. Well, the Mets hit into 3 double plays last night and lost 3-2, and now here again they lose a leadoff batter on base as they hit into another double play.
Let's check this out. That was very close at first base. Uribe gets the ball, flips the ball, and I thought that Strawberry was safe. I thought he was safe with the naked eye. I thought he was safe there.
Looked like a tie to me, and Joe West, the umpire, at first said no. The ball beat him.
I'm not going to mess with Joe West.
He's too tough. If you remember the fight with Philadelphia, West took Dennis Cook and flipped him right on his back. Best body slam I've seen outside of television. Now the batter is Howard Johnson, and he fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Howard hitting .246. 19 home runs, 67 RBIs, 1 for 4 last night. In his last 14 games, he's had 4 home runs. Mets in their 16 games over the past 3 years here at Candlestick, and they have won just 2. 2 years ago, they were 1-5 here. Last year, they were 1-5 here. And so far this year, they have not won a ball game here. They are 0-4.
When an opposing team comes into Candlestick, the Giants have the upper hand because most of these guys have been told, look, it's not good weather. It's a tough place to play, but get it out of your mind. You can't do that.
That puts it in your mind.
Well, no, most of the players coming into San, they'll talk to you, say it's bad weather. Gary Carter told me Brett Butler and Robbie Thompson talked to him and said you can do pretty well in Candlestick Park if you go in with a positive attitude, because most players don't want to come in here and play the Giants.
There's a ground ball backhanded by Matt Williams, a fine defensive third baseman, and on the defense able to participate in any throwing because of that sore shoulder that he has.
Might try it out tomorrow, but I'm sure the Mets are hoping it's going to heal in a hurry because they need Kevin Elster in that lineup at shortstop, although Howard Johnson has been doing a fine job.
He's been doing an outstanding job at shortstop. As we go to the bottom half of the second, Matt Williams will lead it off, the hero of yesterday's ball game, with a 3-run home run over the center field fence. Williams hitting .278 in the year with 23 home runs, 92 runs batted in. He's second to Joe Carter in the RBI department. Carter with 98, and the pitch back a ball, and it's 2-0.
One of the reasons Williams is such a good power hitter is because of the way he uses those legs. Generates a lot of power with his legs. Has a lot of leg action if you watch him at the plate.
Very similar to Harmon Killebrew. And a swing and a miss.
He really does remind me of Killer.
Strikes out about as much as Harmon, too.
That's right. Well, take a look at his swing. Let's watch that back foot.
Ooh. Talk about power generated.
Ooh, with those legs. You won't find a power hitter who doesn't use his legs.
Like in golf, you get your power out of the drive of your legs into the path of the ball, and that pitch fouled back out of play. 2-2.
And Ralph, we were talking about Kevin McReynolds before, and when you pull off the ball, you're really not utilizing the strength of your legs. You're not utilizing any strength. When you pull off the ball, your power has been spent, so therefore you will pick up your base hits. But Kevin McReynolds is a good major league hitter, and he's got to come out of this power problem.
He's averaged around 20 home runs a year throughout his career, and this ball cued off the end of the bat. The count stays at 2-2. Matt Williams is a impersonation artist, does impersonations of baseball stars, and he's doing that himself. He's impersonating a real star with his own presence.
Well, he was sent back to the minor leagues. There's Dusty Baker, the hitting instructor with the Giants, who was a fine major league player. When Matt Williams first came to the major leagues, he struggled against that breaking ball.
And a slow ground ball down to third. It is foul. Foul ball. Williams on his way to second doesn't know it's foul. The Mets don't know it's foul. It's picked up back in the corner, but it was called a foul ball. That ball at the last minute kicked off and did not go over the top of the bag.
I'd let him run. Even if you know it's foul, let him run.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him to keep going. Here it is, ball. Matt Williams hits on top of this ball. Tim Tuffle comes over, gets the ball in foul territory. And Matt Williams hustled all the way to second base. If you know it's foul and you're playing against him, tell him keep going, you get triple. Wear him out.
Try for an inside the park home run. So the foul ball account stays at 2-2. Williams back to the batter's box. Against David Cone, Matt Williams has had 3 hits and 9 at bats, batting .333. One of the hits a home run. His lifetime average against the Mets, .218 with 5 home runs. One of them last night, a 3-run home run.
Just talked about the problem he had with the breaking ball when he first came to the big leagues. Obviously, he has corrected the problem, or he'd be back in the minor leagues. Al Rosen, the president of the Giants, predicted greatness for this kid.
And that ball swung on and missed, and that's .378 in the year with 2 home runs, and there's ball 1.
We talked earlier, the Mets need a brilliant game from a pitcher today.
Kennedy's father, Bob Kennedy, who was a fine major league ball player, now works as the head of the farm system for the Giants. And the fastball is high. Bob Kennedy played in the World Series, and Terry, of course, also played in the World Series. They became the 10th father-son combination to play in the World Series. and the first to ever have an RBI.
I've been fascinated with strong throwing arms ever since I signed the contract, Ralph, and you told me that Bob Kennedy might have had one of the greatest throwing arms ever.
He had one of the great ones. And this ball hit foul down the left side. Fine crowd here today. Bob Kennedy from right field was as good as anybody I ever saw throwing to home plate.
Yet his son, if he had a shortcoming, it was his throwing arm.
It wasn't hereditary. The 2-2 pitch in the air to left field. Sunfield out there, so McReynolds fighting the sun but making a good play. It's a tough Sunfield on left. Later it goes to center against David Cone. He's had 5 hits and 14 at bats, and the first pitch inside for a ball.
Last time we saw Thompson out here, he was struggling to stay in the lineup.
Oh, the Mets get him well, though. He's got a lifetime average of .337 against the Mets.
During the lockout in Florida, I had the opportunity to interview Gary Carter for Mets Inside Pitch, and Robbie Thompson was there working out with him. West Palm Beach.
2 balls, 1 strike. He lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. Went to Palm Beach Junior College. And the pitch fouled away.
That's a good baseball school. I mean, you're not supposed to go to school for baseball.
Just an extracurricular activity is all.
That's right.
Spent most of his time in the classroom. 2-2 pitch, a weak swing, a ball tapped to third. Tupple with it. This time the throw is accurate. The last time it was a foul ball. And publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Mets, Sterling Doubleday Enterprises, and Sports Channel is prohibited. Well, we're going to the top of the third, no score, and Tim Teufel will lead it off for the Mets. Trevor Wilson on the mound for the Giants, his first appearance against the Mets. And Teufel takes high a fastball for ball 1. Teufel hitting .242, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Was a pinch hitter last night and was 0 for 1 as he struck out to end the ball game in the ninth. And that pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Teufel earlier against Montreal had a pinch hit, 2-out, 9th inning home run to tie a ball game for the Mets. And then the Mets went on to beat Montreal 6-4 in extra innings. In his last 10 games, Teufel has hit 3 home runs, and that pitch a called strike, 1-2. Mets against left-handed starters with 20 wins and 20 losses. And a ball called for a 2-2 count. And it goes to 3-2. The Mets on the road with a record of 26-28, 2 games under .500. And they started their action 2 games back of the Pirates. The Pirates won, so the Mets have to win today to remain 2 games back. This ball fouled down the right side. The count stays at 3-2.
One of the toughest things for any player is when you don't play every day to stay in shape. You really have to motivate yourself. This guy does it. He works very hard. Talking about Tim Teufel.
Now the 3-2 pitch. It's again hit foul. If I were a general manager, and I'm sure I couldn't get away with it, I would have simulated games for the players that are 2 platoon players and not scheduled to play.
That's a good idea. Also, have one of the coaches take them through strength exercise to make sure they get their throwing in, picking up ground balls.
There's ball 4, so the Mets get a base run.
I'll tell you what, you really don't have to stay on Tim Teufel. He works very hard. He has not given up as far as wanting to play every day. He still has hopes of playing every day. Toughest position to keep a guy in shape is the backup catcher, because rarely does he catch batting practice. You can count on one hand how many times a year you'll get your backup catcher to catch batting practice.
Especially if you've got 3 catchers.
Yeah, and you really have to stay on him.
So the Mets again with a leadoff runner, and the batter is Orlando Mercado, and he grounds the first pitch foul. Mercado 1 for 2 yesterday. Was walked intentionally one time and singled and scored as he was aboard when Tom O'Malley hit a pinch hit 2-run home run to put the Mets within 1. They lost 3-2. And the fastball a ball. That's 1 ball and 1 strike.
If Mackey Sasser were 100%, and he's not, that ankle is still bothering him.
Also has a bone bruise on his hand.
If he was 100%, he would catch against right-handed pitching and left-handed pitching, I believe.
Buddy Harrelson wanted to rest him for a period of at least 2 days. This will be his 3rd day of rest. And he's hoping that he can get well.
There's Mackey. If you have
a pinch hitter last night.
You have a bone bruise, you don't want to be warming up pitchers in the bullpen.
And the throw to first base. Tuffle, who has no stolen bases and has attempted no stolen bases, draws the throw. For a guy that doesn't run, he draws more throws than anybody on the Mets.
Well, Magadan.
Magadan also close. Magadan, though, has attempted the stolen base. Unfortunately, it came at the wrong time. That ball hit to the middle, and a tag is made, and another double play. Good play by Thompson as he tags Tuffle and then gets the double play and the throw to first base.
Tough play for the second baseman, especially with the runner as close as Tuffle was to Thompson. A very good play by Robbie Thompson. Here's another look. Mercado hitting the ball towards the second baseman. Watch how close Tuffle is. Boom, he picks the glove up and is able to tag the runner and throw to first.
5 double plays now so far in this series. This is the second game of a 3-game set. And it brings up David Cone. So the Giant defense, they're number 1 in the National League in defense, doing a job here again. 2 double plays, a fine play at third off Howard Johnson by Mitch Williams. And Cone takes the first pitch for ball 1. Cone with 9 base hits this year, led all National League pitchers in hits last year with 18. And this pitch in the dirt, a change of a baseball. You know, there's lots more Met action to come, so open a cold Budweiser and get ready with that clean, crisp taste that only comes from Beechwood Aging. This Bud's for you. Another one in the dirt. And Cone, who has the only pinch hit by a Mets pitcher in their history of 29 years, pinch hit, base hit.
He's starting to pitch around them.
So he's not getting anything to hit here. 3-0 to him. Pinch hit by a pitcher. Wonder if they're going to give him the hit sign there.
How about that, ball 4. They're pitching around this guy.
Walked him on 4 pitches.
He's got a hitter's number. Henry Aaron, Willie McCovey. Trevor Wilson is saying why.
So now the Mets with Smith, who won for the Pirates today as a starting pitcher, his second start, second win. Once came out to be a pinch runner, and of course he's a pitcher. Swing and a miss, and it's strike 1. He asked for his jacket. The umpires wouldn't let him have one. Even though you're a pitcher, if you come in as a pinch runner, you are then considered to be a player and not a pitcher. And you cannot put a jacket on. And it's grounded off to the first base side out of play. Strike 2. Two strikes to count, to carry on, and the pitch back is lined to left center field. It'll be a base hit if it goes through. It could be a run, but it's cut off by Mitchell, and Cone has to hold at third base. So carry on with a single. With a double, and going to third base on the play is Cone, and the Mets have run Major League Baseball, the 1962 Mets. And they had 2 games they didn't play. Roger Craig and Al Jackson were the top pitchers for the Mets in 1962. Both of them outstanding pitchers. And Magadan takes a fastball for a called strike. Magadan grounded out his first time up. Scoreless ball game. The Mets with runners at second and third. 2 men out in the third. Magadan lines a base hit to left center field. This will score 2. Cone scores from third base. Carrion scores from second base. And for the first time in this series, the Mets have taken the lead. And they lead it by a score of 2-0 as Magadan gets a big 2-out base hit.
Well, he does it so many times after taking a strike. Here he fights the ball off in the left center field. And David Cone scores easily along with Mark Carrion. Butler getting the ball back into second base. Magadan holding on at first base. And as Ralph mentioned, the big base hit. Now Coney's got to go back on that mound and be brilliant.
And the next ball hit down the line for a base hit. Magadan on his way to third. Mitchell fields the ball cleanly, throws into the cutoff man, and on the double, the Mets again have runners at second and third base. Jeffries with a double. And for Jeffries, that is his 31st double of the year. That really is intended as a personal.
Take it as an insult, though. He's got to get going.
As badly as McReynolds is hitting, it does seem to be an insult. But it is the lefty-righty combination.
Remember the Pirates did it to Strawberry a couple years ago, and McReynolds was on deck, and McReynolds went to the plate and hit a grand slam.
Grand slam home run.
Darrell's got to do something to get himself going, and I don't care. You know, I know it's baseball, but when you're a guy that hits as many home runs as Strawberry, drives in as many runs, if he was hot, they wouldn't do it.
That's right.
So he better take it as an insult.
He did hit. McReynolds did hit a grand slam home run this year after a walk to Strawberry. Now it's Strawberry's turn after a walk to McReynolds. McReynolds grand slammer this year off Mike Morgan of the Dodgers. So Strawberry, who hit into a double play his first time up, swings and misses. And he misses the fastball.
Ball was by him. He was overmatched right there.
Olivares now throwing in the bullpen for the Giants. And there's a pitch for a ball, another fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike.
When Darrell was struggling early in the year, that happened a lot to him where he was beaten by the fastball.
One the count. The Mets leading 2-0 with 2 runs in with 2 men out. The 1-1 pitch to Strawberry, a breaking ball for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Here's that last pitch to Strawberry. Down low.
Now the pitch back again to Curb. Did he swing? He did not. And a break for Strawberry as the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike instead of being 2-2.
You know, Terry Kennedy tagged. Watch as he tags Darryl Strawberry.
He thinks there's 2 strikes on him. So now Trevor Wilson in deep trouble. A 3-1 count with the bases loaded. And he walks him, and the Mets get a run.
Well, now Roger Craig's going to take it as an insult. He walked McReynolds to get the Strawberry, and Wilson walked Strawberry. Now he's forced to pitch to the right-handed swinging Howard Johnson with the bases loaded.
So the Mets with 3 runs in, all coming with 2 men out. They still have the bases loaded. Howard Johnson, the 9th man to bat in this inning, the 9th man to come up. He hit a hard smash to third and was thrown out his first time up. Wilson's pitch, and Johnson takes a strike. Barry Downs now throwing in the bullpen along with Olivares. One strike to count to Howard Johnson. Johnson with 67 RBIs and a wild swing and a miss. Strike two.
Well, Hojo, as we've seen over the years, a good fastball hitter. That's a bad ball way off the plate. Straight changeup. Tell you, after you see Hojo swing like that at the changeup, you get a pitch to the situation now. Get yourself in a position to throw that pitch again.
He misses with a fastball, and now he's in a position to come back with that off-speed pitch.
Although this year we've seen Hojo beaten with fastballs more so than ever before.
Especially from the right-hand side of the plate. He's having trouble from the right-hand side.
But after swinging at that changeup the way he did, I'd have to find out if that was a fluke.
This ball hit hard and on by. 2 runs might score. One has. Here's the throw to the plate by Mitchell. It's not in time. And the Mets lead it 5-0 as Johnson came through, driving in 2 big runs.
That ball overmatched Jose Uribe at shortstop. That ball was smoked.
So that'll be all for Trevor Wilson, as Johnson knocks him out of the box. And we'll have a new pitcher coming in. So this call to the bullpen is sponsored by New York Telephone, who reminds you Wilson, who was knocked out on the base hit by Howard Johnson. On Taveras with a record of 0-2. He has no saves. Taveras will be Tim Teufel, who started off this inning with a walk on a 3-2 pitch. And the first pitch by Olivares is taken for strike one. The 1-strike pitch is in there for strike two. This inning started off rather innocently. Tim Teufel walked in the 3-2 pitch, and then Mercado hit into a double play. David Cone then walked on 4 pitches. So walking the pitcher was the undoing of Trevor Wilson. After that, a double by Carrion, a single by Maggott, and a double by Jeffries. An intentional walk to McReynolds, another walk to Strawberry to force in a run, and a 2-run single by Howard Johnson. And this pitch fouled back out of play. The count stays at strike two. So 4 hits and 3 walks in the inning. Make that 4 walks in the inning, one of them intentional. And the Mets with a 5-run lead. Again, the 2-strike pitch and a breaking ball up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets since the All-Star break 19-18. After a torrid June and a fine first half of July, it has been just about a 500 return from the All-Star break, and this one hit in the air to right field. Kingerly, the right fielder, puts it away, and that will end the inning. But the Mets get 5 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2, and the score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Mets 5 and the Giants nothing. The Giants have won 8 of their last 11 at home, 11 of their last 14 here at Candlestick, and 13 of their last 17. They have a record of 31-24 at home. And David Cone with his first pitch hits ball 1.
Sometimes you have a layoff like David Cone just had, and you see 5 runs on the board. Some pitchers find it difficult to keep focused on the mound. There are other pitchers who stay focused.
A good one, stay focused, and now the pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-1.
But you know, you can see it, you can feel it when you're catching a guy, how they lose that concentration when they get a lead, especially early in the game. I think it's very important for the catcher now to keep him focused.
And again, a swing and a miss. Don McMahon, who was the pitching coach for the Giants for many years and an outstanding relief pitcher himself, said the most important thing a pitcher has to have is concentration. At the time he made the statement, he said Tom Seaver was the only pitcher in the National League who could keep it for 9 innings. And that pitcher's in there are called strikes. So Cone gets his 4th strikeout. He's had 5 10 or plus strikeouts per game so far this year.
Here's that last pitch to Uribe. That's a nasty pitch right there. Caught the front of the corner of the plate and then ran off the plate. Now here's 4 guys that are everything in moderation, I guess.
And the pitch now to Olivares is taken for ball 1. And the pitch back, a strike. And a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
The Cone Cadets, how about that? Probably flew out here from New York. Check out this game.
And another strikeout as he gets him with a fastball. 5th strikeout for Cone. And they're doing their thing.
Where's that moderation card? We better read it right now.
Hope those aren't his passes. So now two strikeouts in a row, and Brett Butler will be the next batter. Butler with the only hit off Cone. He doubled right over the bag at 3rd his first time up. Butler against the Mets hitting only .213 in his major league career, and he takes a fastball for ball 1.
That was a live fastball. You saw that ball just take off.
I don't think there's any pitcher in the National League with better all-around stuff than David Cone.
I agree.
And the 1-0 pitch bunted on and bunted foul. So Butler, who has 14 bunt base hits, fouls off a bunt attempt.
We were talking about the ideal leadoff man. Brett Butler puts the ball in play. He gets on base. He can steal a base. He doesn't overswing, doesn't try to hit home runs. He will hit for extra bases, does not try to overswing. Ideal leadoff man, but not the best leadoff man in the history of the game. Ricky Henderson has to be.
No doubt about that, as that pitch is a ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Butler with 70 walks is second to Dykstra, who has 71.
Dykstra has become a good leadoff man.
Dykstra is still leading the National League in hitting at .346. And a pitch for a ball at 3-1. Dykstra, who had a 23-game hitting streak earlier this year, the longest in the National League, had a 10-game hitting streak, stopped last night.
Saw Butler fake the bunt, bring the bat back. That's what a leadoff man does. He's got to get on base. He went after that pitch.
That was not a bunt attempt. He was trying to make it tough for the umpire. The umpire, Harry Windelstadt, said no, that was in the strike zone. So the count goes full to Butler. And the pitch back, a fastball that's fouled off.
If you were to take a diagram and draw a leadoff batter, this is the type of guy you would draw.
The only thing that he lacks is Ricky Henderson's power.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson's the greatest leadoff hitter in the history of the game. But this guy here is this guy might be one of the best leadoff hitters in the National League, along with Lenny Dykstra.
This ball popped up and playable for Tuffle. He fights off the sun, makes a catch, and the Giants again go in order. That's 9 in a row since a leadoff base hit by Brett Butler. The score at the end of 3 here at the Stick. It's the Mets 5 and the Giants nothing. The play-by-play.
Thanks, Ralph. Orlando Mercado pops it up to the infield in foul territory. Terry Kennedy struggles a little bit, but he makes the play. That thing's wrapped around that flagpole so tight it can't blow.
That's right.
David Cone walked, got the whole thing started for the Mets. Takes ball 2. It was a walk to Tuffle, followed by a double play to Orlando Mercado. Then the walk to the pitcher. Boy, how many times has that sent somebody to the showers?
And on 4 pitches. The Mets exploded after that, scoring 5 runs with 2 men out.
Way out of the strike zone, 3-1 to David Cone. Mets got 5 runs on 4 hits with 4 walks mixed in. Line shot, base hit up the middle. David Cone does it again. Hit it at first. Takes ball 1.
See, we got a chance to visit with a winemaker, Lance Cutler.
Oh yeah, Lance was in with his wife. Had a chance to say hello last night. We saw you after the game.
I was checking out his feet. They're not even purple.
That's because he had his shoes on, Ralph. They look black. Those were black loafers.
I guess they don't crush the grapes like they used to, huh?
No, a little more sophisticated than that now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're in the top of the 4th. Mets leading 5-0. Carry on 1 for 2. He doubled in the big inning. Takes his pitch ups out of the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. I know everyone in baseball that's involved with on the field or in the booth is very pleased that the San Francisco Giants have put so many day games on their schedule. That's been going on for quite a number of years now. 3 balls and a strike now to Carry On.
They have a much bigger crowd here today than they had last night, although they are giving out Joe Morgan posters here today.
It was good to see. We used to call him Little Joe. He wasn't really in favor of that. Joe Morgan, Hall of Fame, and much deserved. Carry On swings at a pitch out of the zone.
I think you could safely say, pound for pound, he was the best second baseman that ever played this game.
I'll agree, Ralph. Who was that other guy you always bring up?
Rogers Hornsby. He was much bigger, but he was a much better hitter than Joe Morgan ever thought to be.
Is that right? I never saw him get a hit, though.
Best right-handed batter that ever played this game.
Fly ball left field. Mitchell with a beat on it. He's got it. Cone will return to first base with 2 down. 2 RBI single that got the Mets on the board. Take strike 1. They ought to let Magadan go to the plate and just assume that he has a strike. I think he'd be more aggressive.
Be a better hitter with 2 strikes, I think. He is an outstanding 2-strike hitter, and it doesn't matter whether it's a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher.
You're right, Ralph. Ground ball foul. Now the pitcher's in trouble. Willie Mays, number 24. Willie.
He used to pull the ripcord every once in a while.
Yeah, Willie get that front foot flying out of there now and then, but he kept those hands back, and he really learned how to do that especially well here, because the wind before they enclosed the stadium blew out to right a little firmer than it does now, and he really learned how to stay back and slap the ball to right. Magadan takes ball 1, a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down.
And another just like him, Roberto Clemente, also a bailout hitter with the left foot flying out to the coaching box side.
But they were able to keep their hands and
shoulders
an awful lot back, because when they let it fly through that strike zone, it was something. Ground ball to first, picked up by Log. A little toss to the pitcher on Taveras.
That was a reverse there.
That was a little bit lazy on the part of Logger is what it was. But the Mets are out. They strand 1. After 3.5 innings, the Mets lead the Giants 5-0.
Looks like Joe Montana right there.
Up into foul territory. Tuffle over with the glasses down, drifting, and makes the play. There's no such thing as an easy pop-up in this ballpark.
Everything is an adventure in this ballpark with that wind blowing. In just about 9 minutes, you can set your clock. It'll be 2 o'clock, and the wind will pick up in velocity.
It's going to have to pick up pretty good. It's blowing not too bad right now. They brought Horace Stoneman out here the first time. They took him out here in the morning around 10 o'clock in the morning. This place was quiet, beautiful, nice day.
It was a dump at the time.
Still is.
And it still is.
They've improved this ballpark. There's some real deficiencies.
But thank goodness they're going to move out of here in a couple of years.
Swing and a miss by Logger. 0-2.
leading candidate will be Santa Clara, which is about 40 miles south of here. And of course, the weather is about 20 degrees warmer there with no wind. This is a wind funnel right through this area.
Out of the zone, but he can't check his swing. Wendelstedt said he went around. Strikeout number 6 for David Cone.
Olaga completely overmatched in his 2 at-bats in this game. The first time it was a curveball that he had a half swing on. This time a fastball.
It's going to bring up Kevin Mitchell, who was also struck out his first time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Struck out Mitchell on all curveballs his first time up. Now he starts him off with a fastball.
David Cone in what he probably feels is uncharted waters. A 5-0 lead. He has pitched to tough luck, as Ralph and Fran were talking earlier in the game. But he's got a 5 spot to work with. Off-speed breaking ball. Mitchell flailing at that one.
Cone had a stretch where he won 6 straight decisions from June 9th until July 28th after starting the season 1-4. He's 1-2 in his last 5 game starts with 2 NDs. 1 loss, 1-0 to McGrain in St. Louis. The other 2-1 to the Dodgers. Good. Wow. You got a lucky break there, boy.
Good fastball taken for a 2-2 count.
Harry, he runs an umpire school. You got to call that a strike if you go to school.
Breaking pitch. Just a little bit out of the zone. It's a full count. David Cone rushed himself a little bit that time. Full count with 2 down. Outside corner. Mitchell takes it for strike 3.
He has no complaint. He got 2 good close pitches called balls.
Well, he flipped the hat, he flipped the bat, but it's going to do no good. After 4, it's still the Mets 5 and the Giants nothing. We'll be back. A ball. I said Ontiveros. It's Olivares.
They had an Ontiveros that played up here.
Yes, they did. Another right-handed pitcher. Jeffries with a 2-0 count in the driver's seat, looking for the fastball. Gets it, but it's out of the zone. He tries to do too much with it. He's having a fine season, and he's going to be a great hitter. As things go along, he will learn more and more about staying in control. What do you think of that, Ralph?
I agree with you. He showed it last night, his inexperience, because he was just so overeager that he was starting to swing at anything that was thrown up there, and he was struck out with a runner on third and a very bad curveball out in the dirt. He was just too eager, too anxious. You got to learn to be contained. You still got to keep the eagerness, but it's got to be contained. You can't be just jumping all over up there.
Controlled aggression is the terminology. Takes ball 4 this time, and a free pass for Jeffries. And fans would like to remind you that New York Met baseball is being brought to you by manufacturers. He has 1 home run. That is not Kevin McReynolds. Take strike 1. And the things that we see on the TV, Ralph, that front foot, his front shoulder, and his hips are moving too soon. He had a good at bat his first time up, hit a shot between the shortstop and the third baseman. Again, there it is, opening up a little fly ball. Kingery takes it in right. Jeffries returns to first.
By opening up like that, you don't get your body behind your arms as they go out in front to hit the ball. The arms go out, but there's no drive from the body behind it. Now watch there. See that? He's so open, there's just nothing to hit with. It's all arms and hands from there on.
Look at that first step.
There it is.
Hips are already exploded. There's nothing left at the end. Darryl Strawberry at the plate with Jeffries at first. Strike 1. Strawman walked, drove in a run with that walk, got credit for an RBI. I guess it's better expressed, got credit for the RBI instead of driving it in. Jefferies, 8 stolen bases in 10 attempts. Francisco Olivares on the mound. Strawberry fouls it off out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. The Giants only 1 hit in this ball game. The Mets 6 hits, 5 runs. Throw over at Jefferies. The Giants have given up a lot of runs in their last 11 to 12 games. I'll check this pitch before I tell you about that. Strawberry line drive to left. Mitchell, he's got it. Jefferies back to first. That's what Darrell's going to have to do, though. You know that?
All right, here it is, 2 o'clock, right on the nose, and check out the flags.
You can do it all, Ralphie. Is that true? You're taking that post as the weatherman during the winter?
Yeah.
You taking over?
I volunteered.
Howard Johnson at the plate. Jefferies a fake at first. A ball called to Howard. I guess that means if you're going to be the weatherman, we got a weather vane in Fran Healy. I'm going to have to get something to do with the weather here.
You can be the rooster.
I'm in enough trouble. Rooster. Yeah. An orange rooster. That'll work.
I was going to say I was stationed up here flying PBMs off the bay over here at Alameda for quite a few months. Not a whole lot of times we could get off the water because of the fog around here.
Jefferies bouncing around at first. You saw the quick slide by the pitcher Olivares. It was a pitch out. Jefferies not going. If you saw the pregame show, we were talking about Roger Craig calling all the pitches and calling all the pitch outs. He tries to say that he does not do that. In fact, was very emphatic about it. But that catcher's always looking in the dugout. Pickoff attempt. Not even close. A ball and a strike. 2 down. We're in the top of the 5th. Here's Roger. Relaying a few signs to the catcher.
Roger was once an artful Dodger. Started his career with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Jefferies a big fake. Fastball up and out over the plate. 2 ball.
Pretty good catcher. Norm Sherry, his brother Larry Sherry, an outstanding reliever.
Jeffrey goes. Here's the throw. Jefferies is safe. Howard Johnson protected him. They're going to call strike. They put a ball up on the scoreboard, but Howard Johnson took kind of a weak hack trying to protect Jefferies, I guess. Jefferies got a good jump.
He was trying to hold up, I guess. Didn't like the pitch, but Jefferies comes up with the stolen bases 9th in 11 tries. Mets have been successful 76% of the time in their stolen base attempts, just a little over the average. And the Giants have thrown out only 28% of the runners attempting to steal. That is under the average.
Jefferies, nice lead at second. Popped up by Howard Johnson. This may stay in the park. Kennedy back at the wall. Oh, reaches in and almost gets it. Just off the edge of the glove. Good try.
Mercado made a catch just like that in yesterday's ballgame. This is the reason why this park is so tough on batters. Tremendous amount of room behind home plate in foul territory. Takes a lot of at-bats away from hitters. The balls that would normally go into the stands. It is the biggest factor for a hitter Foul territory being very, very large.
The count 2-2 to Howard. Jeffries at second. 2 down. Ball by the catcher. Jeffries goes to third. Trying to throw that breaking ball down in to get Howard to chase it. The only person that chased it was Kennedy. Full count now.
Ball almost hits Howard Johnson. He gets out of the way. And it is a wild pitch as Jeffries goes over to third.
Everybody deep for Howard. Infield back all the way. Line shot to right. This might get out of the ballpark. It's over the right fielder's head. Kingery tosses it back in. Howard Johnson gets a double and an RBI. 6-0 Mets. That ball had some overspin on it, Ralph.
A little bit of a sinker going out there, or would have gone over the fence, and it had enough spin on it to go over the head of the right fielder and then curve down into the base of the fence. Howard Johnson gets his 68th two-base hit. That is his 29th double. He is in the top 10 in that department, and his 51st extra base hit. That ties him with Barry Bonds. And he goes against Christy Mathewson's Hall of Fame sign, number retired out there, and the Mets have another run.
Tuffle pops it up out of play. Strike. Swing and a miss by Tuffle. Guess it was fouled off. Howard Johnson returning to second. You know, we saw Gene Elston doing the game, I guess, for CBS on radio today. Gene Elston, the top announcer for Houston for many, many years, was there when I first came up. A great guy and a great announcer. A little looper. This is going to score another run for the Mets. Howard Johnson coming around hard, touching home plate for the 7th run. 7-0 Mets. Not a line drive, but smart hitting.
Hit them where they ain't, as Wee Willie Keeler used to say. Hit it right off the fist. And it loops into left center field for another RBI. Tuffle getting his 16th on the year.
Some action in the bullpen for San Francisco. Ball outside. Kelly Downs taking some warm-up tosses. It's his 2nd time he's up in this game. 2 balls, no strikes. Orlando Mercado has grounded into a double play, and he has popped out to the catcher. Ball outside, 3-0. This will be one of those times where I don't think they'll give him the hit, Ralph. You want to kind of turn this lineup, get the pitcher out of the way. We'll see. Takes a strike.
Well, even though the Mets are leading 7-0, you got to play this ball game as hard as you can play it.
Mike Laga at first has been behind Tuffle. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Full count. Tuffle will go on the pitch. Mike Cubbage walking over, doing his duties, reminding the runner to go. Never assume anything in this game. You should always be talking about it. The infielders, the outfielders. There goes Tuffle. Line drive to center. In comes Butler. It's a base hit. Tuffle goes to third. Mercado his first hit in the ball game. And the Mets have some hot bats tonight. To plate. Ground ball up the middle. Cut off, knocked down by Uribe. The Mets will score another run. It was almost like Uribe assumed he had that ball and might have taken his eye off it, Ralph. But it's good news for the Mets. They're going to give Cone a hit and an RBI.
This will make David happy. He gets his 11th hit of the year. Ball should have been fielded. Uribe has made 15 errors at shortstop this year. This should have been played. Tough chance, but this is the major leagues.
It's almost like he timed that ball. Little pop up. Can they get to it? Coming hard is Laga, but he cannot get there. So strike two to carry on. Mark lined to the third baseman, leading off the game. Then he doubled and scored in the third. And then in the fourth, he flew out to left. Swing and a miss, strike three. Olivares gets him. But on the budget scoreboard, it's the Mets 8 and the Giants nothing. Lead the league in RBIs, Ralph, in 3 different years.
Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, and Mitch Williams.
Hits it a long ways. It's high, it's deep, and it's a home run. Home run, Mitch Williams. Matt Williams, number 24, and RBI number 93. He's really learning how to go the other way, Ralph, with extreme power.
Well, he certainly is a budding star. You can look for him to be one of the top hitters in baseball for many years. This pitch a fastball out of way, and he just puts the bat on it, and it's carried a little by the wind and out of the ballpark. His second home run in 2 days, and that is the 17th home run given up by David Cone.
Terry Kennedy at the plate. Takes ball 2. Mets trying to break this 5-game losing streak out here. There's a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ralph was telling you earlier in the game, the last 3 years the Mets have been 1-5, 1-5, and 0-4 at the stick. Ball hit well to left. McReynolds going back. Does not get it over his head off the wall. Picks it up. It's going to be a double for Kennedy. Looked like he didn't pick that ball up well. Eight hits at 19 at bats this year, or lifetime. Takes a breaking ball outside. That's incredible for him. 8 for 19 against David Cone with that stuff.
And he's at .337 against the Mets in his major league career, but Cone is not that easy to handle. He's also hit a home run off Cone.
Swing and a miss, strike 1, 1-1. Magadan playing almost even at the bag at first. I do not understand why.
Got to be back. They got the first baseman in too.
That is Magadan. Wild pitch bounces over the protective screen in the back. Kennedy moves to third base with nobody out. Buddy Harrelson looking around. I guess he's moved his infielder back because Magadan has moved back.
And Tuffle also is in. I meant to say Tuffle instead of Magadan. There's the wild pitch. That is the 5th wild pitch by Cone this year.
Fouled straight back. 2-2. Mets conceding the run on a ground ball, especially through the middle. Everybody extremely deep in the infield now. That's where they should have been with a man on second. Why are they not paying attention then? 2-2 to Robbie Thompson. Side on, outside corner, strike 3.
3-5.
Thompson's 73rd strikeout of the season. Jose Uribe at the plate with the ball. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Mark Carrion challenging a little bit in center field. McReynolds actually in a little bit for him. Still probably a little deep for Uribe, who doesn't hit too many balls over the left fielder's head. Ball out of the strike zone. Ernest Riles in the on-deck circle. He'll be the pinch hitter. Fouled out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cone got Uribe the first time up, taking a 3rd strike. It was a good fastball away. He's gotten 8 in the game. Yes. Ernest Riles. San Francisco broke a 5-game losing streak with that victory last night over the New York Mets. Breaking ball up and away, full count to Uribe. Ground ball to 3rd. Tuffle has it. The runner has to hold. Throw a little high at first, but Magadan snags it. Ernest Riles at the plate. As a pinch hitter, he has 9 hits in 26 at bats. 2 of them home runs and 5 RBIs.
That's quite a job as a pinch hitter.
Fine job. That's a swing. So says Harry Wendelstedt. Could not hold up on that pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball comes off the catcher. Kennedy is going to score. They did not say foul ball, so that was really a weird one. Mercado could not hold on to that one. Riles swung at it. It's going to be the 2nd run. 8-2. Was that weird or what? Riles picked by Magadan. He takes it himself. The Giants get time called. Dave Magadan speaking with Harry Wendelstedt. There's something wrong with the ground in his opinion.
In Wendelstedt's opinion, he's not in the batter's box.
That's exactly right. He says, okay, you give me the spot, I'll kick the hole. Eight runs on 10 hits for the Mets. Magadan has one, a big one, as he takes a strike. He got the Mets on the scoreboard with a 2-run single in the 3rd. A line drive to left center field, 2-out single. Up and away, ball 1, 1-1.
Incidentally, we forgot to wish Ron Darling a happy birthday, his 30th today.
Today or tomorrow?
Today, I think, isn't it? Is it tomorrow?
Might be tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll check on that. Either way, happy birthday, Ron.
Every day's a birthday.
Magadan checks his swing, but it's a strike called.
It is tomorrow.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
August 19th, 1960 was when he was born. So why do they put it on the note sheet today?
Want you to be ready tomorrow, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe he wants a party.
New York Metropolitans not really on the air tomorrow on television. It's an ESPN game. There's Ronnie.
Exclusive game.
Ronnie, a nice victory in his last time out. Magadan fights off a good pitch. 2-2.
Quite a few years ago, Casey Stengel was the manager of the Mets, and we had a big birthday cake presented to Casey Stengel on television. And he was very good and did his usual thing, you know, with his Stengelese speech and what have you. The next week it was Marv Throneberry's birthday. Nobody gave him anything. So Marv wanted to know why. Casey Stengel said, we'd have thrown you a party, but we were afraid you couldn't catch it.
That's hardcore. Case got him where it hurt.
He got him a low blow.
Full count to Magadan. Takes strike 3. Nice pitch by Downs, tailing back.
When he gets 2 strikes on it.
You got it right, Ralph. That's exactly what it is. Jeffries takes a strike. Greg has grounded to short, doubled, and walked. He has a stolen base. This one doesn't catch the corner. 1-1. Make that 2-1. The Mets 2-3 against these Western Division clubs. There's a 20-game swing here now, both at home against the Dodgers and out here on the West Coast, then back home again against San Francisco and San Diego. It's going to be an important period for the Mets before they get back to the East. High pop up, very playable. Uribe calling off Williams. 2 down. Fans, it's time to announce tonight's Texaco star performer on the road. Grace Bruno of Yorktown Heights, New York. Back to that next inning. Fly ball to right. That'll be the 3rd out of this inning. The Mets don't score. After 5.5, though, they're still. You got it. Brett Butler at the plate takes ball 1. Butler 1 for 2. He doubled the lead off the game. After that, Cone retired 12 in a row. Ball 2. Butler tied for 2nd in the league in walks with 70. Takes ball 3. Outstanding leadoff hitter. He is 9th in the league in on base percentage with a .383 coming into this game. And he'll be taking a strike. He gets one. 3-1.
I'd take 2.
He should take 2.
Magadan, the surprise, he's 2nd in the National League in on base average.
There's that 2nd strike. David Cone coming back at Butler.
Magadan with a .418 on base percentage.
He's done quite a job for the New York Mets. Full count. Popped up. Will stay in the ballpark. Mercado calling off Tuffle, and he's got it. 1 down. Fouled to Tuffle at 3rd. Ball 1 to Mike Kingery. Mets pitching staff all year long leading the league in strikeouts. There's a ball inside. 2-0. Leading the league in strikeouts, fewest number of hits allowed. And this is the one thing that is a very big plus for the Mets, Ralph, and something that is almost surprising. They've given up the fewest walks in the league. There's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
They lead the major leagues in strikeouts with 852 coming into this game.
Popped up, might stay in play. Tuffle going hard. So is Howard Johnson. It's going to be a tough play, and Howard slips on the grass. Tuffle jumps over him. Howard's okay. He's just fixing his uniform. Somebody had made that play. That'd have been some play in this park.
Really a very, very difficult play. The wind taking the ball away from Howard. He tries to cut and loses his balance, and the ball drops in foul territory. Absolutely no error charged on that attempt.
Jeez, somebody got an error on that one. They might have to go up into the scorer's box and have a conversation. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Full count. New York Mets in that last homestand going over 2 million in attendance. Fights off a pitch. Mike Kingery, still a full count. The Mets, St. Louis, and Los Angeles all over 2 million. Chicago and Cincinnati will make it. A couple of outside shots. Hard ground ball. Jeffries has it. Gets it to Magadan, and Kingery is out.
Giants have drawn $1 million.
Besides being a major weather vane. Is a ball.
You mean he changes his position sometimes?
Just in case. Well, Fran has had a tremendous dilemma. He left his telephone book back in New York. I mean, this guy lives on the phone, and he left his telephone book. He's about ready to commit Harry Carey over that. So I guess Roger was calling for him. He must have gave Roger some telephone numbers. So can you make some calls for me while I'm up in the booth? Fouled back. Mercado holds on to it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mike Laga.
And when he's buried, he'll be buried with a telephone in his hand.
High pop up. It'll be interesting. In center field, carry on. Glass is down. He makes the play. A little bit of a dance step. After 6, Mets 8, the Giants 2. Will be back. New York Met without a hit. And someone who got many hits in his big league career will now come in and take over the play-by-play.
You're right, Rusty.
No, I was going to introduce somebody else, Fran. You're back, okay?
Don't start. No arguments. Says Darryl Strawberry just took ball 1. It's 8-2. Mets on top of the Giants. And there's a long drive to deep right center field, but this ball will be caught. I'll tell you, I remember the days you hit a fly ball like that here at Candlestick Park, and the ball is gone. You're making a play out there in right field. You're flinching when you're a right fielder here at Candlestick.
He calls the ball. Now he's going to bring the glasses down. That's awful late. He has not played in this ballpark a great deal.
Came over from Seattle as a free agent, April of 1990. As you look at Howard Johnson with the double and single in his ball game, he's 2 for 3, and he takes a strike. Beautiful afternoon here at Candlestick Park. It's been all Mets 8-2. Mets with 10 hits, the Giants with 3, and Johnson drives the ball to center field. Brett Butler going back, and he makes the grab for round number 2.
Howard Johnson hit it well. This is a big ballpark in center field.
I saw Willie Mays, Willie McCovey make this ballpark small. Willie Mays could hit that ball to right field. He developed a swing here at Candlestick Park where he hit the ball to right field. When he would go on the road, he would pull the ball. There's number 24. I don't know if anybody was any better than him. See Juan Marichal, Willie McCovey. It's a pleasure playing in the same team with those guys. Tim Tuffle takes up high, ball 1.
Yeah, Danny Reagan, our director, and Kevin Meininger, our producer, we made a decision today that we were going to try to be as easy as we could be on you today. Frank Viola peering out the side of the dugout. He said to be easy on you too. We know you left your phone book. You probably had cardiac arrest when you realized it.
Well, that's why for the next 2 innings I'm going to be giving messages instead of making calls. There's the strike. 1-1. 2 men down here, top of the 7th inning. Good day for the Mets, but the Pirates won their ball game over the Cincinnati Reds. Outside, 2-1. Tuffle takes a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Darren Reed moving with the music. Foul ball.
Doesn't look like he feels like he's pressure packed at this moment, does he?
This is the big leagues. I like the big leagues.
Working on shading his eyes from the sun. It's a guy who's played every day in the minors. It's tough to be on a bench.
Oh, it really is. And Tim Tuffle will go back to the bench as he strikes Kevin Mitchell. It's a ball, 1-0. Mitchell has faced Cone twice today, and he's K'd twice. Outside, 2-0. Coney's had nasty stuff. The Mets needed a masterpiece.
He struck out 8 so far.
Right back up the middle, base hit.
That shows you the difference when you're ahead in the count and the guy doesn't know what you're going to throw, as to being behind the count, knowing the guy is going to come back with a fastball. Mitchell staying right in there, going back through the box for a base hit.
So Kevin Mitchell's on first base, talking to Dave Magadan, and the batter will be Matt Williams. Williams with the home run in this ballgame. What a hitter. What a power hitter. Takes outside, ball 1.
That one breeze that went through here before, like it took me and everything else out here. That'd be a pretty strong breeze.
I noticed those papers flying all over the place at this booth.
Came at a great time, right while I was in the middle of the scores.
Good rip, fouled back, 1-1.
Our congratulations to Bob Welch, the Oakland Athletics, the first pitcher in baseball this year to win 20. Won last night. He beat Baltimore. Exactly the fastest anybody's gotten to 20 games in the last 17 years of baseball.
Can he get to 30?
That's going to be tough.
1-1 pitch. Ball hit a hole, base hit. Mitchell round second base. Tuffle wisely getting back to third. The Giants with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th with their first 2 hitters aboard.
He hits it hard. You see it goes right in the ground. Lots of overspin. But he did make good contact. He gets it between third and short. Mitchell wisely held at second. He rounded second like he was thinking about going to third. It was a good idea to shut it down.
They're trailing by 6. And Terry Kennedy, the batter. Kennedy has a double in his ball game. He's 1 for 2. And he skies one to center field. Carrion is there. Makes the grab. Mitchell tags. Fakes to third. And holds his ground. Fans are excited about the throw. 1 down.
Carrion caught that ball. Threw it on a fly to third base. That looks good. Got a lot of oohs and ahs from the fans. But your job is to hit the cutoff man. Here's the throw. Everybody's watch the backup system. You see that ball way over the cutoff man. Everybody running, trying to make sure they can back up this play.
So runners on first and second with 1 man down. The batter now, Robbie Thompson, who's 0 for 2. He grounded out and struck out. Curveball misses up high, ball 1.
Thompson missed a few games this past week with an upper back strain. The game last night he got into was the first game in a while. He's had a lot of trouble with that back over the course of his career. It's a constant nagging problem.
He takes up high, 2-0. A bad back ended Ralph Kiner's career.
David Cone struggling a little bit in this inning. Falling behind on the hitters. He has not done that all day.
I wonder if Robbie Thompson had any chiropractor maybe manipulate the bat.
I hope not.
2-0 pitch. Fouled right above us.
I was bailing.
And now good friend Chris Mullin, who does a great job with the Warriors out here. Up high, 3-1. Chris, a big Mets fan.
Now the Met bullpen very active. Bobby Ojeda throwing. Wally Whitehurst throwing.
Runners on first and second. You can see Mitchell. 3-1 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Well, they feel that the Giants will soon be called the Santa Clara Giants.
To be seen. That has not been agreed to yet, right?
People feel.
Yeah.
That'll happen. There's Roger Craig, manager of the Giants.
You played out here for a couple of seasons, Fran, right?
Yeah, terrible place to play. 3-2 pitch. Up high, ball 4, bases loaded with Giants.
It's the first walk of the game for David Cone, and it comes at a very bad time. Jose Uribe coming up to the plate. Here comes Mel Stottlemyre to talk their young star coming out of the dugout to pinch hit.
Just like in the movies, they call him the natural, and here comes Will Clark with the bases loaded. Giants trailing by 6.
Bob Lillis walking up to him, giving him a couple of statements. Now they're going to talk again. What can you tell him? Get a good pitch and drive it.
Yeah, really, what can you tell him? He doesn't know to drive a good pitch. This place is going wild. for the natural.
Mets are ahead by 6. One big swing by Clark could bring it awfully close. Giants have a lefty warming down in their bullpen. It's probably Mark Thurman. It is Mark Thurman.
Tony pitching from the stretch. Fouled out of play. Strike one.
From the stretch than they do from the windup. I don't know.
Maybe he feels the runner would distract him if he's pitching from the windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Nice play, Mercado. And wisely, Clark asks the home plate umpire, Harry Windelstadt, to check the ball. That's a tough play right there.
The two left-handed pinch hitters for Roger Craig have now been used. Bill Baith in the on-deck circle. He's a righty.
Swung on and missed, 1-2. You can see Clark has been weakened by the food poisoning.
He's got a great swing, a little aggressive there, went for a pitch out of the strike zone. He's not used to pinch hitting.
1-2 pitch. Pulled foul. Runners on the bases, all 3 bases occupied with Giants, and a 1-2 pitch is inside. 2-2.
Even the crowd reacted to that one.
Two-two pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Cone comes up with his 9th strikeout. You know, at the evening, Will Clark striking out, but that does change everything for that quick instant.
Now Mercado's going out for this quick instant to.
It's one of those things that here comes the sun. Now it's going to get very bright now. The cloud is now going by. It's okay when it does that. You can see that as much on TV as you can here.
There's a strike. You know, you're doing a nice job as a meteorologist.
Well, you guys, between you and Ralph, you're the weather vane. He's going to become the weather man. I got to get in this thing. I'll be the shade man. I'll be the shade man.
See that shot? That's what Rusty's talking about.
It's dark behind the pitcher.
And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2. David Cone has had nasty stuff today, and right now he needs a nasty pitch. Brett Butler on deck. 8-2 Mets. He got the nasty pitch, and that'll do it for the Giants here in the bottom of the 7th. They strand base. The batter now, David Cone.
He had to run so hard and so far for that. What a nice bunt.
Beauty. Good sacrifice. Scored 1-4.
That is the 8th sacrifice of the year for David Cone. Mercado at second. One of the things I've always wondered about on lineups is a lot of clubs have a tendency to put someone, you know, a catcher. Over the years, a lot of catchers have hit in the 8th slot. Guys that don't run that well. Not that all catchers don't run. I don't want to hear that grief from you. But Mercado, tough guy to bunt over. Doesn't get out of the box well. Outfield awfully deep.
First pitch to Carrion's up high, ball 1.
When you don't have speed, you have to work on doing all the little things right. You got to be able to get a jump, turn the bases well. The things you can do to help your club, even though you don't have good speed.
1-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit, left field. Mercado will hang on at third base. And the Mets have runners on the corners.
Mercado could not move on that ball. He could not tell whether or not it was going to be caught or not. Line drive right in between the shortstop and the third baseman. Mark Carrion. And that bat head out good today.
Carrion with 2 hits. Batter now will be Dave Magadan. He's 1 for 4.
Giants playing for the double play.
Magadan takes down low, ball 1.
Magadan 43 RBIs on the season with the 2 he got in the second inning. Pardon me, the third inning.
Bad swing right there. Good pitch. 1-1.
Robbie Thompson at second, not playing very close to the bag. He is really far away from second base.
Mercado on third. David Cohen on first. Check that. That's Mark Carrion on first.
And you see Thompson. This is a double play situation. He is way off the bag.
Shortstop Anderson a little closer to second base. And the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball left field. Mitchell under it. Mercado tagging up to throw to the plate. Offline. Run scores and good base running by Carrion. 9-2 Mets.
Kevin Mitchell makes the blunder of most fielders. He waits on the ball and catches it on his heels. He has no body momentum. He could have moved back on this ball and run into it to get some body momentum going to the home plate for the throw. Watch him back on his heels. Now he's got to try to generate some arm speed. He makes a decent throw, but even with Mercado's speed, he scores easily. And a good aggressive play, as you called, by Carrion, tagging up and going to second on the throw.
So 2 men out. It's 9-2 New York. Greg Jeffries the batter. Jeffries takes the ball. 1-0. Jeffries, as we mentioned earlier, grew up near Candlestick Park here in San Francisco. Mets have had some success with guys growing up in the San Francisco area. Keith Hernandez. Jeffries takes a strike. 1-1. Another guy who grew up out here was a fine baseball player. We're talking to Bob Stevens, one of the old writers. Covered this gentleman when he was in high school, Dr. Bobby Brown.
How about the Met manager? Grew up right here in
Buddy
Haywood.
Harrelson. 1-1 pitch. Up high. 2-1. Bunch of major league players grew up across the bay in Oakland. Joe Morgan, Willie Stargell, Tommy Harper, Frank Robinson, Vada Pinson. Not to forget Ricky Henderson, which I just did. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2.
It always seems in a game where there are a lot of runs scored that one player struggles in a game like that. Today it's Darrell so far. He's going to have a chance to change that. But every Met has gotten a hit and scored a run other than Darrell. He can change it. He's got a shot at him.
2-2 pitch. Looper into right field. Nice play, Robbie Thompson. Outstanding play. Takes a base hit away from Greg Jeffries, and that'll do it for the Mets here in the top of the 8th. But they pick up a run after 7.5. It's 9-2 New York. It's 3:07 out here in the Bay Area.
You always talk about the outfielder who made the good play coming up. Whoa, line shot right to Strawberry, though.
So one man down. 9-2. Mets on top of the Giants. 9 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Mets. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Giants. And he's been in control. He's had pretty good stuff.
He struggled in the 1 inning in the 7th. Had a little trouble in the 5th, but he has been able to come back from it. Big strikeouts when he needed them. Struck out Clark and Baith to end that uprising in the 7th.
Mike Kingery now the batter. He takes the strike. It's 1-1. One man down here in the bottom of the 8th. Pirates over Cincinnati today 3-1. There's a strike. 1-2. Swung and missed. Strike 3. 2 outs.
Strikeout number 11 for David Cone. Today's game is the 7th time that David Cone has struck out 10 or more.
Mike Laga the batter now.
That's a pretty good season. Striking out 10 or more 7 times.
He's got good stuff. That was quite a trade the Mets pulled off, picking up David Cone.
Of course, the champ in that category, Nolan Ryan. Not sure exactly what the pinpoint number is, but over 200 times in his career, Nolan Ryan has done that. That might be a tough record to catch.
Line drive, foul ball.
Speaking of Nolan Ryan, struck out 15 last night in 10 innings. Got a no decision. That game was finally decided, I think, a few innings later. It was a 1-0 final. Here's that cloud cover coming over again. You can see it again as they come across, changing the light. I would have got out of the batter's box, Fran. I really would have.
See, it never bothered me.
It's almost like it's startling, you know.
The clouds. If you mention those clouds again, I'm going to wrestle you to the floor. Leave the clouds alone.
Clouds are a factor.
2-2. Pulled foul.
They were a definite factor yesterday when we tried to land. I know that.
It made me very nervous.
Plane had to go back up. I always love that on a trip, being the wonderful flyer that I am.
2-2 pitch. Oh, that's a nasty curveball right there. And that'll do it for the Giants here in the 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down. As you look at the clouds, we'll be back. Kevin McReynolds will lead it off for the Mets, to be followed by Darryl Strawberry and then Howard Johnson. Top of the 9th inning. It's 9-2. New York on top of San Francisco. First pitch is a strike. By the way, day in and day out, at home or on the road, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It delivers every time. So ask for Bud Light, because everything else, it's just a light. And the 0-1 pitch. It's a drive in the left field. Mitchell over. Nice play, Kevin Mitchell. Taking an extra base hit away from Kevin McReynolds.
Well, you would think it would be Kevin McReynolds making a play like this, but this time Kevin Mitchell takes a double away from him. Nice full extension. Getting used to playing in this field.
He'll always be remembered defensively for that barehanded catch. See it over and over and over again. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry 0 for 3 with a walk. Hit into a double play. Fly to left and fly to right. It's jammed again. Fly ball. Center field, Brett Butler calling for it, but Kevin Mitchell making the play. That ball's starting to get in on Strawberry again like it did early in the year.
Butler's calling. You can see it. Kevin Mitchell comes over, and Butler trying to protect himself. Mitchell way over into the center field area. That's very frustrating for a center fielder, especially someone as strong as Kevin Mitchell. The Mets do have Julio Machado warming hard in the bullpen.
Howard Johnson, the batter. He takes ball one.
With this 9-2 lead, Buddy Harrelson might be giving Machado a chance to pitch.
One 0 pitch. Hit off the end of the bat, foul territory and out of play. Mentioned that the Giants will probably move. Well, if they don't get a new stadium and they get the okay in Santa Clara, their history here in San Francisco. So they go from the city of St. Francis.
Is Santa Clara north or south of the city?
South.
South.
A lot of the ball players that when I played with the Giants, a lot of players lived down in that area. I don't believe they lived. Yeah, they did live in Santa Clara. Howard Johnson takes down low, 2-1. You remember Al Gallagher, third baseman?
Yeah.
Dirty Al.
I remember Ernie Fazio went to Santa Clara College. Another guy, Bob Garibaldi, a pitcher for this ball club, was from that college.
Big bonus baby.
Yeah, they were in the the World Series for college.
Drive in the gap, right center field. Extra bases for Hojo. Cruises into second base with another double. His second of the game. He's now 3 for 5.
Mets would like to get Howard Johnson going. He came into this game 7 for his last 19. A couple of home runs, 6 RBIs. And especially seeing him do this from the right side of the bat. Howard came into the game 7th in the league with 28 doubles. That'll give him 30.
So 2 men out. The batter now, Tim Tuffle. Takes down low, 1-0. Tomorrow night, the Mets will go at it with the Giants. You can catch all the action on ESPN. One 1-0 pitch. Hit off the end of the bat. Matt Williams makes the play, goes to first, all in one motion, and that'll do it for Tim Tuffle and the Mets. The Mets fail to score here in the top of the ninth, but we head to the bottom of the ninth. The Mets are comfortably ahead of the Giants, 9-2. Back here at the Stick in San Francisco, the city by the bay. Beautiful city out here. David Cohn likes it. He has struck out 12 Giants. 9-2, the Mets on top. The Giants. Kevin Mitchell, the batter, takes up high, ball one. Mitchell in this ball game was victimized twice. Also has a single, so 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Whoa, he's 2 for 4.
Finally decided that pulling off the ball wasn't the way to go with David Cohn. Went back through the middle his last 2 times up and did the job. Not trying to do too much with it. Fastball right back at him. That does the trick.
So Mitchell on first base, and the batter, Matt Williams. He's 2 for 3, a home run and a single. He's also struck out, and he takes a strike.
Wally Whitehurst now throwing in the bullpen. I guess Buddy Harrelson just getting the guys to get it loose down there. There's Williams. I think he thought it was the ball. What a look.
Swung on and missed. 0-2. Now, Russ, you talked earlier. They say there's no such thing as a back foot hitter. We just saw the camera. All his weight stayed in his back foot. He's got to be as close to a back foot hitter as there possibly could be.
I would say he's one of the best pivot hitters, keeping his weight together, letting it explode, just turning on the ball.
Takes outside. 1-2.
You never know if a guy like Williams is going to make that last adjustment in the big leagues. He has.
High fly ball, center field. Carry-on is there, fighting the sun, and making the grab. One down.
Guy has great stats in AAA, in the minor leagues, comes up to the big leagues. Some guys can make that step and make it easily. Took him a little while. He struggled. They sent him back down to the minor leagues. Came back up in the second half of the season last year and started to become the dominant player that he's going to be for a long, long time to come.
And when he was sent down, there were some coaches on that bench right there that didn't think he was going to make it back.
I know.
Terry Kennedy, the batter, he takes a strike. 0-1.
Think those coaches might have made an error in judging.
Al Rosen didn't, though.
And the most amazing thing about him is what a tremendous defensive player he is. Tremendous arm, extremely good hands.
That's why they compare him to Mike Schmidt.
Yep. They just don't look alike.
No. 0-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit, right field. Mitchell going to second base and stopping Kennedy at first. So runners at first and second with one man down. Here in the bottom of the ninth, it's 9-2 New York.
This is an inning that Cone is out there. I really kind of thought that Buddy Harrelson was going to let a couple of guys in the bullpen get some pitching in.
You really think this is the time and the place for it, the way the Mets have been struggling out here in San Francisco?
Yes.
You do. Okay, there's a strike. 0-1. Although I respect you as an intellectual,
I don't want to hear this.
I disagree.
Then I feel better about it. As long as we're disagreeing, I feel like I made the right move.
Breaking ball's a strike.
The big thing is he's had a couple of innings in the last 3 innings that he struggled a little bit. Put a lot of wear and tear. You're worried about the next start.
Point well taken. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Oh, Thompson really helps him out. Really helps him out. Number 13. This is just an overmatched pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Robbie Thompson. He's down for the second time in this game. And his 74th time this season.
In the batter, Anderson puts the ball in play. He should do it. Hojo takes him south. Ball game over. The Mets needed a win. That guy right there got the win. David Cone pitched a fine ball game. He had real good stuff today. And the New York Mets are victorious here in San Francisco in Buddy Harrelson's backyard. Final score, Mets 9, Giants 2. The final line score, 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for New York. The Giants 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error, and we'll be back.
Mets Baseball is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
Back here at Candlestick Park, San Francisco, California. If you're a Met fan, you've got to be happy. Final score 9-2. The Mets on top of the Giants. How many hits in this ball game? 12 for the Mets, 7 for the Giants. What do you think, Mr. Staub?
Well, the Mets needed a game like this a lot, Fran. David Cone went out there and did just one fine job. They got some hitting when they needed it. They got some clutch hitting. They got some 2-out run production, and that's something that every manager and every team wants to get. And they're going to have a good meal tonight because they really have struggled in this ballpark, and they came through and really did a fine job. And our Texaco star of the game today has to be David Cone. Here's another one of the 12 strikeouts that David Cone got today. Mitchell went on to get a couple of hits, and David had his group at the ballpark.
How about those? How about that young lady? She got out of there. She wasn't sure what these guys were about to do. Anyways, David Cone is our Texaco star of the game. How about our Budweiser play of the game?
Well, the Budweiser play of the game was Dave Magadin's base hit to get everything started. We told you there was some 2-out hits. There's men on second and third, and David Magadin lashes that single to left center and scores the first 2 runs for the Mets, and that got him going. Our Budweiser play of the game.
And for that effort, Budweiser will donate $100 to Bacchus, a national collegiate on-campus student initiative working to prevent alcohol abuse. Budweiser and Bacchus, another example of how people working together can take alcohol abuse head-on and make a difference. And we'll be back.
New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By your Tri-State Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Why nobody beats the Wiz. Remember, for everything in home entertainment, nobody beats the Wiz. By GE. From aircraft engines to appliances, we bring good things to life. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best. By Texaco System 3 gasolines. Texaco, star of the American road. And by Manufacturers Hanover, where your money has power.
Well, back here at Candlestick Park, once again, the final score 9-2. The Mets over the San Francisco Giants. David Cone had pitched an outstanding ball game. And speaking of pitching,
Well, we're going to go over the AT&T Long Distance Award. After every game this season, points will be awarded to Met pitchers for the AT&T Long Distance Award. Here's how it works. For every inning pitched, you get a point. We'll also add in the fractions. If a pitcher is credited with a complete game, he gets a bonus point. At the end of the season, the man on top wins the AT&T Long Distance Award, and $10,000 will be given to the charity of the player's choice.
Well, that'll do it from Candlestick Park. Once again, the final score, Mets 9, Giants 2. Remember, tonight at 9, get the best harness racing around on Summer Racing 90 from Yonkers. The New York Mets will return to Sports Channel Wednesday afternoon at 4 when they travel to San Diego to slug it out with Tony Gwynn and the Padres. Coming up next is Bob Mann's Golf, already in progress. This is Fran Healy for Rusty Staub and Ralph Kiner saying so long until Wednesday. And thanks for watching Mets Baseball on Sports Channel. Good night, everybody.